mom's there. My brother was trying to get drunk here and there, but my mom was always watched over his shoulder, being like, "What are you doing?" So we couldn't get too fucked up, but it was pretty crazy. Honestly, I don't even know. Like that hotel must have made a lot of money because the amount of money they were giving away in alcohol alone boggled my mind. I'm like, they can't be giving out this many drinks. It's too many drinks. It's not even like it's like a set time. It's like all day, every day. They'll do it at breakfast, lunch, dinner. It didn't matter. You go to the bar, you be like, "Can I get a drink?" And then there'll be dudes doing these night shifts, being like, "Yeah, man, yeah, man, get fucked up." I'm like, they don't tap you out. I had to tap myself out of this story. He said, "You want another?" I'm like, "Another?" Man, I gotta get out of here before I stumble into the fucking hotel room, bro. Yeah, that hotel was lit. It was a little boring though. Like there was nothing to do. all people would do is like lounge all day, drink, and then like they'd what's it called? They do some kind of dance thing. Like they'd be like, "Hey everybody, let's dance in the pool for the umpteenth time." Like, I don't want to dance in the pool. And like I didn't want to lounge at the pool all day either. And like it was just like, oh, I'm sick of drinking. I'm sick of playing around. It's weird because I was on vacation, but it was like, oh, I want to do something. I wanted to play video games, to be honest. There was a game room, but the sign said you had to be you couldn't be older than 13 to go in. I was like, what? What is this bullshit? And we tried to go in. I was like, who fuck? There's no one in there. Let's just go in there. They have a Nintendo Switch. Let's play some Mario. Let's play some Smash or something. My brother going, and then there was like a lady at the desk. There was like a little desk in the corner, but you couldn't see it from looking inside the door. It was like in this little crevice. It was like as soon as you open, she's in your peripheral. She's like, "What are you boys doing in here?" And she's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, my brother was like, I'm 19. I'm like, why the fuck did you tell her that? I told her I straight up to her face was like, I'm 13. I was like, I'm 13. She was like, get out of here. It's like, damn it. But the culture's different over there on the island, man. Video games and shit like that, they're viewed as kid shit. Not like in the West where it's like an actual conglomerate, like a career path someone could do just playing video games. I'm not even just saying that as a Twitch streamer, but like think about esports. Like, you can make a lot of money just playing fucking video games, but like the culture's different over there. It's like, oh, this is for kids. Adults should be working, not doing kid shit. And even my mom was like, ooh, you shouldn't have asked to go in there because now they're going to think you're predators or some shit. Which sounds like kind of fucking extreme, but I guess that's how they view this shit. It's like, what adult would be interested in this shit unless to lure kids? Which sounds fucked up and kind of close-minded, to be honest, but like, I try not to argue with third world logic anymore, man. As being half Jamaican, none of this shit surprises me anymore, man. See, my mom loves going back to Jamaica. I always hated it, man, because there'd be like, it's not even like Jamaicans I don't like. It's the everyone has some anger, because like because Jamaica's really big on tourism. They make a lot of money through tourism. So everyone there, when they spot an American, when they hear an American accent or see a dude who clearly is from the like, yo man, you got money, man? Can I have some money? Can I have a tip? Can I have this and that? I can get you some weed, and they like put some oregano in a bag, and you spent like $20 on some weed or some oregano up your nose or some shit like that. And my mom, there'd be like this mango sales, like some dude who like, mind you, this isn't like some fruit vendor or like some dude. This is a dude, because mind you, there's mango fucking everywhere. It's an island. This is some dude who, imagine. Okay, let me break it down for like white people. Imagine there's an apple tree near your local orchard, and some redneck just started picking the apples without the consent of or whatever, and washed them, put them in a basket, and stood on the side of the and was sitting in your suburbs and was like, hey, you want to buy some apples? They're fresh. So that's literally what happens in Jamaica. There'll be dudes sitting out there like, yo, you want to buy some mangoes that literally anyone can pick, bro. And like, I'll be like, cause like, where I grew up not just in the East Coast, but also living in Chicago and like being in New York, the city. I was trained, you don't make eye contact with beggars or solicitors. You just say no, not interested, or you say please leave me alone, or you walk away. My mom, because the culture, I don't know if it's the culture or just my mom being stupid, I don't know, but my mom, she'll chat them up. I don't know why the fuck. She'll chat them up. She'll talk to them, have a conversation, and she'll be like, oh, I haven't been here in years, reminisce. She won't buy the fruit, but she'll be talking to this dude. The dude will be following us the whole way because he thinks we're about to buy his fucking fruit or some shit. He'll be following us the whole way. He followed us like, we were walking, I forget, a couple blocks somewhere. I don't want to say a mile, I don't remember how far we were. We were walking a while to somewhere. Oh, right, my mom needed like a phone because of the overseas calls. She had to get like one of those chip things, like those travel phones with the travel chips, so she wouldn't get charged the international shit. And the dude followed us into the phone place, and like in Jamaica it's a little different because it's a little bit more impoverished, so like stores like that will be open, like that, or like a Domino's or whatever would be open, but they would lock the door and have like a security dude at the door because they didn't want people coming in to break in and shit. And so he's like, my mom's like, let me in, and I need to buy a phone. The dude's just like, there's a homeless dude with us, like, what the hell? And the mango dude's in there, and my mom's trying to buy a phone. The mango dude's just idling behind us, looking around. The dude working there is so uncomfortable because he's trying to sell to my mom, but he's eyeing the fucking mango guy, trying to make sure he doesn't steal a display phone. It was super awkward. I was just like, why did my mom do this? My mom's like, oh, he's harmless. He's just trying to sell some fruit. It was like, last time we went there, she was talking to this fucking drug dealer con artist, bro. He was a con artist. He was trying to sell his weed. He was trying to get me and my brother to, like, enter some, like, seedy adult club or some shit. He's like, yo, you like bitches? There's some bitches in there. He didn't talk that way in front of my mom, but, like, he talked different when he was alone with just me and my brother. And like, I was like, why are we eating dinner? Like, we were eating dinner with this guy. Like, we were at, like, the Jamaican equivalent to, like, a Burger King that was near a Burger King. This dude walks in with a Burger King uniform on, so we think, oh, this dude's coming from the Burger King next door to go on his lunch break. But then I realized that his uniform was different from the other guys who worked there. He had like the older uniform, so maybe he used to work at a Burger King, or he ripped it off a dude who used to work there, but that was not the current uniform, because the Burger King dudes were wearing like the black joint now that has the Burger King logo on it. He had like the old like bright baby blue denim shit on with the logo on it. And in his little pocket with the Burger King logo, he had a bunch of weed sticking out of there. He was a dealer, bro. He was a dealer trying to look like a legitimate person or some shit. Disguised. I knew that that nigga didn't work at Burger King. He was parked outside the Burger King on a fucking motorcycle. He was some kind of dealer or a pimp or something. I don't know what is it. He's chatting up my mom. My mom's chatting him up. And she's like, you can just have ganja out there? And ganja's like, another word for weed. And she's like, you can just have ganja out in the open like that? Blah, 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 blah. Because my mom's an attorney and she does drug court. She's super anti-weed despite being Jamaican. And she was just... And it's funny because last time we were there, my aunt, she was married to the health minister at the time. And he had this whole, like, crackdown on weed. Because like, everyone in my mom's family is super anti-weed. So he had this crackdown on weed for the health ministry. They had these big fines on, like, weed. And then the government was... Then in between that visit and this recent visit from my grandpa's funeral, the law had changed. And now... You could recreationally have just marijuana out in the open and you could sell it, or what was it? It's not, you couldn't sell it, but like if you were selling it, you wouldn't like cops would look the other way. To be honest, and you could have like I think they said like 6 ounces. Like you couldn't have like a stupid amount of weed, and they'd say, "Oh, you're a distributor." But like literally every tourist spot I went to, they'd be selling joints and shit. And like a cop, like let's say if a cop saw that, they'd be like, "Fuck it, he's just trying to make some extra cash off these tourists." And now that I think about it, all the weed, it would always be in like a joint, and that'd be like less than like an ounce. So they'd be like, "Oh fuck it, it's not enough to get. It's not even worth arresting the dude for." And it's like, hey, I could give him a hard time, and hey, I could get a bit of the action. I'm not trying to say that the Jamaican police are corrupt. I'm just saying that like everyone there, you know, they see an opportunity, man. They're entrepreneur. They got the entrepreneur spirit, I guess. Everyone's trying to make a buck, which I can't get mad at. But like sometimes, like that's why I don't like going to Jamaica, because like I never feel like a tour, like I'm visiting. I always feel like I'm there babysitting my mom, who's just walking around being all weird. I can't explain it, because like she'll put on the accent, she'll go all thorough older, but she'll be around other Jamaicans and they treat her like an outsider. And like in a lot of ways she kind of is, not just because of her moving to the US, but because she has these like radical views that are different from a lot of the, like being super anti-smoking and drinking and weed and all that. That's all very big in Jamaican culture. We party a lot. That's like really big in Caribbean cultures, to party, drink, and smoke. And so my mom's super against all that. Like she's part of like, it's weird because she was raised by like the really conservative church crowd, but she's not religious. It's so strange. So she's like an outsider in a lot of ways, and it's just weird seeing her like come home, and then like the aunts and uncles are there, and she's all American and shit, and they're being all, you know, they're chopping coconuts and shit, and she's like, I remember when I used to do that. It's just so weird. So weird. And they all be talking in the accent. I can't understand what the fuck they're saying, and they're all rhyming and shit. I just can't understand it. And I've been there fucking 8 times. You know, I'm sick of it, man. It's like I've been like to Europe like 2 times in different countries. And there's other countries I want to explore. But it's like every time I go to the Caribbean, it's always Jamaica. I've never been to Cuba. Cuba would be cool. I've never been to Haiti. Oh, actually, like, kind of don't really want to go to Haiti. Haitian food isn't really for me, but that's beside the point. As long as they got beef patties, they probably got beef patties there. It's a pretty popular Caribbean food. But maybe Africa. If I was to go to Africa, I'd want to go to Ghana or some shit. Not Nigeria. I'm half Nigerian, but like I don't fuck with fufu. And Nigerians piss me off too. I don't know if it's just the Nigerians my dad would hang out with, but every Nigerian I know is rude. Every single time, bro. I have customers who are Nigerian who come in. I'll be like, "Are you Nigerian?" They're like, "How'd you know?" I'm like, "Look at my name tag, bro." They'll be like, "Oh shit, you're Nigerian, bro." Then they start talking to me in Igbo and shit. And bad example. Anyway, or like my friend who was Nigerian, but both of his folks were Nigerian, not just half. And his dad be yelling on some dude on the phone. He'd be like, "Who are these boys in my home? Who are these boys?" Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I don't know if it's the accent or what, but Africans be upset. I never understood why. And you can say I'm like a spoiled American who doesn't understand his own roots. Fine. But like, maybe it's not that I don't understand my roots, it's just that I'm sick of them. I've seen too much of them. You know? And then when you know, quarantine dies down and travel's a little bit better. I mean, we're all vaccinated, so I'm a little less worried. But you know, when things get a little less chaotic, this summer or the upcoming summer, I wanted us to go somewhere different this year instead of Jamaica. My mom's like, "Let's go to Jamaica for the 9th time," and I'm like, "No, there's nothing there to see. There's nothing. We've been to Emancipation Park. We've been to Montego Bay. We've been to every place the sea in Jamaica. The only place we haven't been is like the mountainous, snowy area where they get their cocoa for coffee and shit, their coffee beans and shit, and they make terracotta. That's the only place I haven't been, and as fascinating as that shit sounds, I don't want to go to the coldest part of Jamaica. God, I just want to go somewhere else. My sister was like, y'all should go to Cuba. I'm like, that sounds cool. My brother was like, hey, let's finally go to Japan. We've been talking about Japan. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go to fucking Japan. Get on that weeb ship. And my mom's like, you guys like other cultures more than your own culture. And it's like, no, we're just a little tired of our culture. We've seen a little bit too much of our culture. I don't think that's crazy to say. And my mom's always getting all teary-eyed, and she's like, but Jamaica's my home, and I always want to visit my home. And I'm like, oh my god, but your home sucks. I'm sorry, but like, I just can't stand it anymore, bro. They don't even play new reggae over there. They still be playing Bob Marley. Old reggae from like the 80s and 70s. They really don't be playing new reggae or reggaeton or any of the new shit. It's weird. It's like they're 10 years in the past. It's so weird. There's really nothing to do there but swim, drink, swim. And all that'd be fine if like there were bad bitches and shit. And not to say there aren't any bad Jamaican girls out there, but like they don't want a fat American mama's boy like me. They want like a real nigga. Like a Jamaican nigga, you know?